What is up, and welcome back to another rebuild. Today we are going to be doing the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team who I feel is almost always good every year, but they're never really good. They're always winning games, but I don't feel like they've been a Super Bowl favored team in a while. So today we're going to try to get back to their form of being a Super Bowl favored team, and there's a lot of ways we can do that. So let's take a look at the team, break it down, and see what we can do. Let's talk about the bright spots of this team. One of them you have to say is Kenny Pickett. I mean, he's a young quarterback, and I think he can become good in this league, especially because he's with the Steelers and they have such a good head coach in Mike Tomlin. And then obviously Najee Harris. He's a young guy. He's a really good running back. So I think he's going to be a very good option for the Steelers, especially if Kenny Pickett's having a bad game. Najee Harris steps up, is able to win the game for them. You never know when that might happen. They have Deontay Johnson, who's another good young wide receiver, and George Pickens, who's another really good young receiver. Allen Robinson II's kind of that old guy in the locker room to help mentor the two younger guys, but they definitely have a ton of upside. And Pat Freiermuth is someone who I really want to develop because he is a really good tight end, and I think he's going to be a superstar X factor by the end of this rebuild. The offensive line, you have to talk about their Benjamin Jones, a rookie from Georgia that they got. He's going to be our left tackle of the future. The offensive line could be a little bit better. Probably looking to upgrade left guard, right tackle, and center maybe. But I kind of want to focus on this defense because the Steelers have always been known to have a really good defense. So I kind of want to create the same thing in this rebuild. I want to create a dominant defensive front, a dominant, secondary. And I think we can get that done having TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Joey Porter Jr. is someone I'm going to want to try to upgrade and stuff. I'm going to be doing the training camp stuff. I just do that off camera because I don't want it to bore you guys. If you guys want to see it in my next rebuild, let me know, and I'll totally do that for you guys. And also, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the sub button, because I do rebuilds all the time and have a couple, big ideas coming out soon. Maybe the first video for that already dropped, but it takes me a little bit to edit those. So yeah, and also let me know in the comments down below what team you want me to rebuild next, because I love rebuilding these teams for you guys, and I'm gonna do the team a lot of people want me to do. So after doing the training camp, I was able to get Najee Harris and Joey Porter Jr. a upgrade. For Najee Harris, I think I'm gonna upgrade receiving back because the computer's not really gonna upgrade that. Probably should have done elusive now that I'm thinking about it, but it is what it is. He's going to be a better receiver now. And then defensively, we were able to get Joey Porter Jr. an upgrade, which I think is going to be really good because that's going to bring him up to, we're going to give him slot. It's going to bring him up to a pure 77 overall. So I think he jumps up 2 after that, and he gets some downs played. So we're going to be able to see that depth trait sooner, which we know is star, but it is what it is. Let's go to the middle of the season, see how we're doing as a team, see if there's anything we need to change. At the midseason point, we are 1-5. Not really what I was expecting when you think of the Steelers. I think they're a much better team than what their record right now is showing. They have the 30th best offense and the 30th best defense, which, like I said before, does not make sense because Mike Tomlin is Mike Tomlin. So let's take a look at the stats of the team and see where we're going wrong, because I honestly want to know. Kenny Pickett, okay, well, that's probably a big part of it is Kenny Pickett has 9 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and 1,300 yards. Receiving wise, Pat Freiermuth is leading the team, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. George Pickens, 300 yards, 1 touchdown. Allen Robinson, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Deontay Johnson's not doing much. Blocking-wise, that doesn't really matter that much. Sack-wise, doesn't really look like we're getting that much pressure. I think TJ Watt needs to step it up a little bit, not going to lie. Joey Porter Jr. has half a sack and a interception. right? I thought I saw an interception for Joey Porter Jr. I didn't. He's not having the best rookie year so far. 38 tackles isn't that great. I don't know where we need to change. I might mess around because I'm playing in the Steelers playbook because I wanted to capitalize on the fact that we have a really good tight end and someone that I want to develop. But my issue is I don't know what playbooks are good in Madden right now for these certain things. Because, I mean, multiple zone vertical power run could be the fit. Strong arm quarterback, I guess we have that. A 3-4 doesn't really get pressure on the quarterback. I may change to a 4-3 for this next half of the season. A 4-3 under and I move, or 4-3 and I move some people around. I think I'm going to do a 4-3. Not too sure what playbook to do, so I'm going to keep it a 3-4 for right now. Yeah, I'm going to keep it at 3-4. I'm going to change to a vertical power run, see if that helps us a little bit in the long term. But other than that, right now, I think we just sim to the end of the season, see what we're looking like, and see where we can improve. I think we definitely should improve the defensive line. And, I mean, Joey Porter Jr.'s just got to stay getting picks. Like, he's not getting any picks right now, but he needs to start getting some picks because we really need him to step it up big time for this defense. But let's go to the mid-season, or let's go to the end of the season. See if we can go, Mike Tomlin's 9-8 and not have a losing season. They go 4-13 in the second half of the season, and it's not looking good right now. Not looking good at all. We had one of the worst, offenses and one of the worst defenses in the league. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not too sure why. I always have thought the Chiefs playbook was pretty good. I may be changing my opinion and going with a different playbook, like maybe the Cowboys or something like that. But this is probably a big reason why Kenny Pickett throwing 21 interceptions is not the best look for him. Damian Harris. Najee Harris has 1,136 yards, 8 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Pat Freiermuth has 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. George Pickens, 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. Deontay Johnson, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Allen Robinson, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Najee Harris with 300 yards, 1 touchdown. Not bad from him. And defensively, let's look at the sacks real quick. TJ Watt with only 6.5. Yeah, I'm definitely moving to a 4-3. This is just sad. He should not have that low of a sack number. Joey Porter Jr. leads the team with interceptions with 2. Cole Holcomb not too far away with 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick with 2. And Levi Wallace with 2. 98 tackles. He may have gotten close. He's going to be on the Defensive Rookie of the Year watch list, but I don't think he's going to win it. Dak Prescott winning MVP. I think I am going to be going with the Cowboys because I'm sorry, Dak, but you shouldn't be winning MVP. There is no Steelers on Offense Player of the Year, Defense Player of the Year. There is no Steelers there as well. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Steelers. It looks like Defensive Rookie of the Year. Joey Porter Jr. wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. You love to see it. It's a terrible season, but a really good ending to the season. Having Joey Porter Jr. win it. That's what you kind of like to see. Other than that, I really don't think there's much more we should talk about. I think we should just skip to this offseason and start the rebuild. For player re-signings, I don't know if we can do any because we have negative $3 million in cap space right now. And that is not a good look as we have we're just going to accept his option right here. Najee, 5th-year option, accept that. Levi Wallace, probably going to have to walk. Kevin Dotson, probably going to have to walk. Keanu Neal's going to have to walk. I mean, a lot of these guys are going to have to walk as we have zero money. We have to free up some money because, I mean, we have to. Let's take a look at team salaries. Is there anybody cuttable making money? And is there anybody who you know, we can restructure their contract. So let's see. Alex Highsmith. So is there a way for us to restructure contracts of $9 million will be added? I'm not sure we should do this. You know what? Screw it. We're going to do that one. We restructure his contract. Good for us. I think that gets us to about $6 million in cap space. I think for Minkah Fitzpatrick, we also restructure his contract. This is really the first time that I'm restructuring contracts. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I'm hoping it doesn't screw me over in the future and I'm making a mistake now. Because we have to re-sign guys like Pat Freiermuth and those guys next year. Alex Highsmith, if I can find a replacement for him, I'm going to. Because it doesn't make sense to me to keep an 80 overall guy getting paid about 70 million when some people come into the league about an 80 overall. And we have 24.6 million in cap space now, which is a big increase from what we had. And now we're going to be able to go in here and talk to some of these guys that I was just going to let walk. Kevin Dotson, I want to keep around. And he's not asking for a lot, so I think I give him a 3-year deal. And he's happy to sign for us. So that's really good to bring him back. You always want to keep offensive line depth. Now, as for cornerbacks, I bet I can find someone a little bit better in free agency. And honestly, there's not, like, you know, we didn't have the money, but there's also not a lot of people that I'm wanting to bring back. So I think it's okay that we, you know, just go to free agency here, see what's available. I know I'm going to have to change the playbooks up a little bit. I haven't done that yet. And also make sure that our defense is shored up. But for free agency, we have about $18 million to spend if I want to. Now, the thing about it is, that's if I want to. I'm not sure that I'm going to want to do that. We have guys in here like Gabe Davis. Adrian Amos is in here. He would be a good option because we did just lose some of our safeties. Marcus May is here. Isaiah Simmons is here. He would be good to move back to linebacker. I know he doesn't want to play there real life, but you know, it's Madden. I can force him to do what I want him to do. And so let's go to our lineup real quick. Change around the playbooks the way I want them for the next season. And that way we can get this guy. Pat Freiermuth went up to superstar. I saw that real quick. I know I didn't go over that yet. I don't want to run a spread offense. West Coast zone run isn't bad. We have a 100% scheme fit for 4-3, but we just aren't getting any pressure with it. So I think I'm going to do that. I think if the Cowboys run a 4-3, Dallas runs a 4-3. Okay. And then I think I also want to go Dallas for our offense. Let's see what scheme do they run? Because if it's West Coast zone run and base 4-3, then I'm doing that. West Coast zone run 4-3 under. Okay. So let's go back here, change it to 4-3 under. I'm basically just stealing his... Well, oof. Because I can make a left end power rusher. I'm just going to do a base 4-3 because I can create TJ Watt to be a left end. And then we get the scheme fits that we wanted. So let's create him into a left end, reorder the depth chart, and then take a look at it. Because that's going to tell us if we want to spend the money on Isaiah Simmons. Because if we look at this, that's looking a lot better. I mean, now our linemen are pretty bad, but Joey Porter Jr. is up to superstar as well. It's really what we wanted. We're going to upgrade his slot. He's up to an 82 overall. His morale is down, but an 82 overall at the age of, what's his age? 24? Not bad. Not bad at all. He's superstar dev. He's going to be a really good player for us. I think I do want to try to go for... man, this is tough because if like... I want to, but at the same time... Cole Holcomb is an 81 overall. Are we really upgrading at that position or just spending more to have someone at that position? That's the thing that I don't really like. I mean, I could sign him as an outside linebacker, a left outside linebacker, but I mean, let's go to free agency. Let's see what the left outside linebackers look like. And then let's take a look at what it looks like to bring him in and how much it's going to cost. Ooh, we could get a guy like Frankie Louvu or Josh Allen in there. That's not bad. Sion Taki wants to be here. Honestly, I'm going to bring in Salone Taki. I'm not going to bring in Isaiah Simmons. I'm just going to go. He sounds kind of like a Steeler, not going to lie. So, and he does sign with us, so that's good. So we can just go to the draft and stock up on really, really solid players. So in the NFL draft, we have the number 2 overall pick. Now, this isn't a bad pick. And a wide receiver goes first. I didn't expect that. It was mocked that one of these two guys were going first. But I really like Bernie Yarborough here. I'm going to take him. I think he just kind of, he's going to be a good guy to put next to Joey Porter Jr. Most likely Patrick Peterson isn't going to start. He's going to be a backup. It's near the end of his career. You just kind of have to see it coming. We don't have any more picks in the first. But we do have a pick in the high second. And with this pick, I have to replace a safety. It's not Minkah Fitzpatrick we're replacing. It's the other safety on the other side. If you look here at strong safety, we only have DeMonte KZ, who is down to a 73 overall. So that needs to change. And we need to get this guy. This is probably a player that you're going to like. Carlos Boykin. He's a free safety, going to be moving to strong safety. If he's still here, and he is, from Texas A&M, Carlos Boykin is going to be that guy for us, drafting him over here. He's a hidden development, 91 speed, 6'1", run support. With the run support archetype, I could probably put him at sub linebacker, depending on how the rest of this board falls. But with pick 3, I want to go middle linebacker because the guy that I have there, I don't know how much we're paying him, but he's not that good. So if I can move on from him and get a better guy, I totally want to do that. And Oscar Bruce is here. He's a middle linebacker from the College of Georgia. Always good defensive players from Georgia. Normal development, sadly, but 90 speed and 75 strength. A very, very, very athletic linebacker. And with the rest of the picks, there's not much else to it other than getting best player available. And, I mean, I could try to fill a couple holes, but then I don't think we're going to be getting a solid guy there. So with these next picks, when I look around, there was not very many people that I was like, oh, yep, he's gonna be good. Herbie Sapp, a blocking tight end. I think only tight end we have right now is Pat Freiermuth. So I think getting Herbie Sapp, hidden development though, was really nice from USC, 6'6", with 78 speed. Not bad blocking guy. I think he's going to become just going to become the solid backup. He's never going to get better than that for this team unless we don't re-sign him or something like that. But here I want to go with a defensive tackle. There's a chance that this defensive tackle could be good. And I'm just not sure, though. His name is Kenny Hunter. He may be gone already, but no, he's a projected undrafted free agent. He must have slipped down the board a lot. Normal development, 94 strength, though. Gonna wear number 77 for us. Not bad, not bad. And that's pretty much it. Pretty much it for this draft class. We'll send it to the end. We're gonna reorder the depth chart, and we're gonna take a look at this team. So after the draft, we basically got a pretty good fullback in the draft in Herbie Sapp. He's also going to be our backup tight end. Other than that, no big changes on offense. Deontay Johnson went down from superstar dev, sadly. And then on defense, TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, I think both went down from superstar X Factor because we just couldn't get pressure on the quarterback. But we have a new number 1 cornerback in town in Bruce Yarborough. And then Joey Porter Jr. Patrick Peterson is taking the bench on this. Not going to sit on the bench, but he's just going to play limited snaps. I think this is a really solid team. I think with the new changes to our playbook, we could play really well this season. So with that being said, I'm going to do the training camp, show you what happens with that, and then we'll go to the midseason mark. That took me so long to do, but we got a upgrade point for George Pickens, and I'm going to give it to him for slot. I don't know. I think slot makes you a more well-rounded wide receiver than any of the other upgrades. And then defensively, we have a upgrade point for Yarborough, our safety, and our defensive lineman. So we're going to get Yarborough up to an 84 overall before the season even starts. 4 awareness is a really good upgrade for him, plus 300 rookie snaps. So going into the season, we could already know his dev trait. And then Carlos Boykin is going to be, I'm going to give him more hybrid because he's playing in a more hybrid role for this team. I'm going to give him hybrid just because why not? He only got 150 snaps because I only got silver with his thing. He is really slow, by the way. I want to see what his speed is because when I was trying to do that, I did it like 1,000 times and I just couldn't catch up to me. He 91 speed and he felt super slow. That's just not good. Not good at all. But defensively, Kenny Hunter also got one. I'm going to upgrade run stopper. You might as well make him a scheme fit. So he's going to get plus 3 block shedding, 1 play rec. So that's really good. I think with that being said, we go to midseason and see where the team is standing. At the midseason mark, we're 2-4. Not much better than we were last time. This isn't really good, to say the least. I mean, offensively, we're doing much better. 5th best offense in the league. But the 28th best defense in the league isn't really what you want to see. Now, I mean, let's take a look at the stats real quick. See how we're doing as a unit, individually as well. Because there may be a reason to it. I mean, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,500 yards for Kenny Pickett. That's not bad at all. 390 yards for Najee Harris, 4 touchdowns. Can't complain there. Deontay Johnson, 550 yards, 1 touchdown. Allen Robinson, 425 yards, 8 touchdowns. George Pickens, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not bad. 3.5 sacks for TJ Watt, 3 for Cameron Hayward, 1.5 for Alex Highsmith, 1 for Larry Ogunjobi. Interception-wise, Bernie Yarborough has 1 and Joey Porter Jr. has 1. From what I'm seeing right now is the defense is really just the issue. The defense. That's where we're having the biggest issue. I do want to move from what this playbook looks like. It looks like it's slot heavy. So I want to move George Pickens into the slot to get him more touchdowns so that he gets upgraded to superstar, hopefully. But I think we just go to the end of the midseason. I think go to the end of the season. I think changing the playbook every time we're not having a bad half isn't the smartest idea. So if we're not good all season with this playbook, maybe I change it up. But you never know. They could turn it around at this point and they could really prove me wrong. And I hope they do, because I really hope this is a playoff team, but let's go find out. Defensively, nothing changed. The team didn't step up. The team didn't do anything. There's no passion. There's no motivation. There's no work ethic on that defense. In all reality, this defense is god-awful statistically. But, I mean, you would think it would be at least mediocre, even with a bad playbook, because of the players we have on the team. The offense stepped up big time. That wasn't the issue. 23.5 points per game, but the defense is allowing almost 28. You can't win. You can't win like that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for this. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the defense. I mean, what team has a good 4-3 defense? Like, if we go look at the teams, right? We go look at the defense. This is Vikings stayed on top the whole year. Falcons are pretty good. Cowboys defense apparently is good. 15-2 is just, oh my god. Man. Who had the biggest difference was the Chiefs. Bears had a pretty good difference too. Panthers defense had a pretty good difference. Maybe the Bears defense is the way to go. Maybe I'll have to try the Bears. Kenny Pickett, on the other hand, almost 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Much better season than he's had in the past. Najee Harris, 1,178 yards, 12 touchdowns. Very good from him. Deontay Johnson, 1,315 yards, 6 touchdowns. 856 yards and 10 touchdowns for Allen Robinson. And George Pickens, 815 yards for 2 touchdowns. Pat Freiermuth, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Nothing crazy there. Now, this is what I want from TJ Watt. 16.5 sacks is really good. But we still didn't do good as a defense as a whole, so it doesn't really matter what he did. Carlos Boykin with a sack. Larry Ogunjobi with 2.5. Nothing really special there. Carlos Boykin also had a pick. Carlos Boykin had a really good season. Bernie Yarbrough had a decent season. So I don't think we're going to win any awards this year, but there's always a chance. And it looks like there is no Steelers for MVP. For everything else, just no Steelers for Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt at 4. No other Steelers. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Steelers, I'm going to assume. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Marquise Bynes. I don't even know what position he plays, but Carlos Boykin's right behind him. I think he had an amazing season. Maybe he needed to have, maybe one more sack, one more pick to have a really good season. But for the most part, I feel like he had a really good season. Let's take a look at this team, though, because I really don't know why we would have such a bad season when it comes down to it. What the heck? Oh my god. So Sapp was a superstar X Factor. He's not starting, and is he gonna start? Probably not, but he might be a trade piece for me. Joey Porter Jr., superstar. Bernie Yarbrough is star development only, sadly, but Boykin is a star development. Not bad. Kenny Hunter didn't do anything, and neither did Bruce, but it is what it is. Boykin and Bruce were our sub-linebackers, though. With that being said, I think I have to... Let me go change the playbook real quick before I go just jump into re-signing. I mean, we have $14 million to play around with. That's not much. It's not much at all. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that defensive playbook. I think we got to go Matt Eberflus, see if he is a... Let's take a look. Chicago. There we go. He plays a 4-3. Perfect. That is what we want to see. So we're going to stay a 4-3 because I need I need TJ Watt to get sacks. That's the biggest thing. So we're going to go to the offseason and figure out what we can do to turn this team around. Okay, So we actually have $66 million to play around with. Cameron Hayward retired, so that is something we need to work on replacing. But the biggest thing is Kenny Pickett. We're going to accept his option. It's his 5th-year option. I thought I had to negotiate with him, which I didn't, thank God, because I really don't want to have to pay him right now. Because if he doesn't have a breakout season, I think you let him walk. We're gonna keep Pat Freiermuth. He's here to stay. Deontay Johnson, 29 years old at 84 overall only. Doesn't want to be here. Not going to overpay for someone who's mediocre. Kendrick Green, I'm going to negotiate with. See if we can get him to stay. He's excited to stay here. That's really good to see. James Daniels, I can probably find a better option somewhere else. Dan Moore Jr. Man, this is tough because I like to keep my offensive line depth. But the issue with this is these guys don't want to be here, and I'm not going to overpay for people who are meh. So if they wanted to be here and they weren't meh, I would totally go after them. Other than that, I think everything here is going to be able to just let them walk in the free agency, test the market, see if there's anybody else that we can bring in that's better than them. One thing that I do want to do is I want to try and get that superstar X Factor tight end. I want to try to trade him. I'm not sure if that's the smartest idea, but that is an idea that I've been thinking about. I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not even going to really attempt it. He's here. He wants to be here. He's about 10 overalls better than Kenny Pickett. He wants to be here. This is my issue. We have the money for him. Is that the way we go? I know Steelers fans are not going to be happy with getting rid of Kenny Pickett. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know how they feel about Kenny Pickett. I know right now they say he's the future. But at the end of the day, do you guys really believe that? Do you guys really believe he's the future if 2 years into the future, you guys have back-to-back losing seasons? And he's played mediocre, you know? Throwing a lot of picks in one season. Did a little bit better. You're going to have to pay him. I'm going to give Tua a deal. We're not leading on him, so it's not a done deal yet. I would actually up the money a little bit. I would make it 22.5 is base salary, and a bonus is 21.5. That should be a little bit of a boost to see if he wants to. It's only jumping us up one. There's really not anything else I want to do in free agency here. I mean, bringing in a backup tight end if we do want to trade the one guy would be smart. David Andrews wouldn't be a bad option. I think we need some offensive linemen. We need a right end. Samson Ebukam. Probably not going to go after him. Yannick Ngakoue is in here. Probably not going to go after him. Wyatt Teller would be a good option. Joel Bitonio would also be a good option. Joel Bitonio is going to cost a ton. It's only a 1-year deal. I don't think we go that route. Now, do we go Wyatt Teller route? He's going to be good for the next 3 years. We don't have the money, though. That's my issue. But we really do need a guy. Do I go all in on Tua and trade? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to look at quarterbacks in the draft just in case we are not able to get. Let's find out how much cap space Kenny Pickett frees up. Getting rid of Kenny Pickett gives us about $4 million. And then getting rid of that tight end gives us about 1.15. But I mean, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I can do here. This is a predicament for me. I think I just up the money for Tua and see if I can get him. See, we went down again on the thing. I think if we go very player friendly, go player friendly. Okay, player friendly deal. That puts us in the very lead for him, and we get Tua. So Tua is our new QB1. I don't know how people are going to react to that in the comments. If you don't like that, let me know. But for right now, these are not as realistic. I'll be doing more realistic drafts or more realistic rebuilds closer to the time when we're seeing like how teams are panning out, how quarterbacks are panning out, and I'll be able to do things from there. But let's go to the draft. Here in the NFL draft, we have the number 4 pick. Looking around, I don't really know where to go with this pick. I know we need a right end, but I saw someone I could get in the 2nd round that looked pretty good. So I don't want to, do something stupid and not be able to get the guy that I want. 2025, so got to make sure I get a 2025 pick as well. They think trying to trade up with me for some 7s is going to happen. Or 2nd round in 2027 isn't a bad pick, but it's really not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of a, top pick in this round. Okay. So the one from the Packers isn't too bad. Actually, the one from the Titans is probably a little bit more what I want to do. The Minnesota Vikings are trying to, sell their house to come up. But there is a player I want. So with this pick, I think I'm going to trade back a little bit, see if I'm able to get him. It's a defensive tackle, and Tyler Porter is not the guy that I want. So hopefully the guy that I wanted did not go above him. Why am I looking at okay, this is, okay, whatever. Sometimes, like, the new UI for this thing, I'm still not used to it. This is like maybe my 5th, 6th rebuild in, and I'm still having issues. So let's look at defensive tackles. And he is gone. Okay. It's really unfortunate for us that he's gone at this point in time. I don't really want to go best available for that, just because it's not really what I want to do. So I'll get the guy I was going to get in the 2nd. Anthony Royals. He's coming to town. 86 strength, 81 speed is going to be our new right end of the future. See if we can replace Cam Hayward. I know Cam Hayward is one of those players that's kind of irreplaceable in a sense, but you have to make do. And with this pick, because I went up and got a guy, or traded back to get a guy that I didn't even really want to get at that point, I'm just gonna see if I can trade this away for maybe a 1st in a future year. A 2026 first is probably what I'm looking for. And it looks like the Eagles are willing to give me a 2026 first. So I'm down if you're down, and the Eagles are down. So we're going to make that trade. We're going to have 2 first-round picks next year, and maybe the Eagles will be bad, so we'll have 2 high first-round picks if we're bad. But obviously we're hoping we're not bad. And with this pick, I think we're going to try to go with a right outside linebacker here. This could be a good selection for us. Adonis Wolf, he's still here. That's perfect. A-zone coverage, he's an off-ball linebacker, and he's going to have hidden development, run stopper out of California. Not bad if you ask me. And then with this next pick, offensive line, offensive line, offensive line, offensive line. We have to get some offensive linemen in here because I'm tired of not having good offensive linemen. And hopefully with getting offensive linemen, we can have Najee have a breakout game, a breakout season. So, is he already gone? He is. So it looks like we're going to go Tom Zimmer here, as the guy who I wanted in front of him is gone already. But hidden development, not bad at all. We are going to let the CPU do the rest of the drafting because I don't really scout further back into the 5th. I probably should, but it takes up a lot of time to, do a deep scouting of everybody. And I'm spending so much longer on these rebuilds because I am starting to play all of the training camps because they're really fun for me. And, I think I'm just going to start a, big channel rebuild, like, the Carolina Panthers, and doing it year to year, but like draw out every episode and play every game like most YouTubers do. So now taking a look at our team, we really do need a quarterback. We really do need a wide receiver, like a really solid one. So I'm going to try to trade away Kenny Pickett here. He's going to be a trade piece that I try to use to get wide receivers. We're going to take a look here, see if anyone's offering up a good wide receiver. Parker Washington, Cortland Sutton wouldn't be a bad one. Jeremiah Hughes wouldn't be bad either. Grover Stewart would actually be a really nice option. Jahan Dotson would actually be really nice. Honestly. Ooh, Jaden Reed would actually... Yep. No, I think Jaden Reed is definitely the guy that I want to go after. Jordan Addison, but Jaden Reed is a superstar dev. So we're gonna trade away Kenny Pickett to the Green Bay Packers for Jaden Reed, who from this most recent draft class. So we're going to generate the new lineup, and Jaden Reed is now going to be a solid wide receiver for us. And maybe we try to get another wide receiver for this tight end because we have, Darnell Washington. So let's trade him away. See what kind of offers we can get, because if we're going to get 80s for the 75, I'm totally going to do that. Caleb Farley, nah, never mind. He can just stay on the team. No reason to get rid of him if there's not any good offers on the table. But other than that, this team is actually now looking pretty good, I'd say. We could use a defensive tackle, but other than that, I think we're gonna have Adonis Wolf start over him, and then we're gonna have Royals start here. Rush right end is gonna be perfect. Slot cornerback, we have a new guy in town who can play there, and that is actually going to be, that's what our lineup's going to look like. I'm going to play the practice, the training camp stuff, and then we'll take a look at the team after. The amount of times I wanted to break my controller there because something stupid happened in the game that causes you to not get a hit stick or something is beyond me. But Tua's going up to an 88 overall. Jaden Reed is going to be going up to an 83, I think he's an 82 right now. No, he's an 81. He's going to be going up to about an 82. We're going to make him slot receiver. I think I may put him in the slot this year as well. He looked good in camp. He was, catching everything that came his way. One of the things that really annoys me in camp is when they make catches that they don't make in game. It's crazy to me. But Carlos Boykins is actually going to go up again. We're going to give him the hybrid safety linebacker. You'll love to see it. 83 overall. And then for our right end that we were able to get an upgrade point for him as well. He's going to be going up to, he's going to stay the same, 75 overall, but we're going to upgrade his speed rusher because Madden won't do that. He got 150 rookie reps as well. Let's take a look here, though. Let's see. Let's take a look at our specialist. And it looks like, yeah, he is going to be rushing the passer. I did change that. I don't want Chris Holcomb to be the guy there, and I want someone to be in the slot. So we're going to change that around, and we're going to sim to midseason to see how this team is doing. We changed around our rosters a little bit, and we're going to see if we can make something happen. Because right now, I'm actually kind of annoyed because of how long it took to do that stuff. Because Carlos Boykin here is not that bad. Then we get a little linebacker in there, and then a slot receiver. We are going to put George Pickens, who is should we do George Pickens or should we do Jalen Reed? I think we should do Jalen Reed, Michigan State graduate. Go Sparty go. And we are going to sim to the red season mark to see how we're doing. Please have more than 3 wins. 3 wins is all I ask. 5-2. 5-2. I'll take it. That's good. That is really good. 4th best defense, 4th best offense. We have found something that is working right now, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it one bit. We're going to take a look at the stats here real quick before we go anywhere. Tua has 1,812 yards, 13 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Very, very good from him. Najee Harris, 600 yards, 9 touchdowns. Really good from him. Jaden Reed having a great season, 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. George Pickens, 400 yards, 1 touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Calvin Austin, three touchdowns as well. Defensively, Cole Holcomb has 2 sacks, but TJ Watt has 7. Anthony Royals has 4. Very, very good from these guys that we're looking at right now. Carlos Boykin has 2 interceptions. Evan Woodard has 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick has 1. We're just clicking. We're clicking right now as a team. So let's see if we can keep up our momentum and take this team all the way to the playoffs. Because if we're having the best defense and the best offense, there's really not much stopping us. The Bengals are 7-0, so maybe we'll get stopped by them, but let's hope not. Let's pray. At the end of the season, we are 13-4 and made the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. Let's take a look at the stats because that is what you like to see. And, I mean, you can't really complain about making the playoffs. Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know, goes for 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Very, very good season from him. Najee Harris with 22 touchdowns and 1,400 yards. Receiving-wise, George Pickens had 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, and Jaden Reed had 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns. Defensively, TJ Watt had 15 sacks. Anthony Royals had 10. Alex Highsmith had 4. Interception-wise, Evan Woodard had 3. Carlos Boykin had 3. Cole Holcomb had 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick had 2. Joey Porter Jr. had 2. Corey Trice Jr. had 2. And Bernie Yarborough had 1. Very, very good season. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look at the yearly awards because I feel like we may have won some MVPs. Tua is at 4. And Najee Harris not here, but most likely won Offensive Player of the Year. He's at 2. Najee Harris at 2. Tua at 5. No other Steelers there. Had to think about that one. TJ Watt at 3. No other Steelers for Defensive Player of the Year. No Steelers for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Anthony Royals wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. Best running back goes to Najee Harris. Best wide receiver. Could have gone to Jaden Reed. He was 2nd. Best D lineman goes to TJ Watt. And Anthony Royals is up there as well. Best DB. Carlos Boykin is up there, and Evan Woodard is up there. Very, very good showing from them. I mean, you can't complain about that at all. Let's take a look at this team because this could be a team that wins a Super Bowl. So I want to make sure you guys know like what the dev traits are already for some of these guys. I'm guessing no one went up mid-season. It rarely ever happens in my rebuilds, but you never know. And it looks like Tua is playing up to a 95. Our our guy that we drafted is up to a 77 overall, but he has superstar. Jaden Reed, obviously superstar, playing up to an 87. George Pickens is also doing really good. Defensively, Adonis Wolf hasn't really been playing that much, I see. should it, I mean, how many snaps has he had? 284? Yeah, he's not playing much at all. But playing up to an 81, not bad. Where is on defense? Evan Woodard, the guy who you see is doing all that stuff, is star development. Anthony Royals is star development. But man, this team right now is just playing well on all aspects of the game. So, but let's see if we can complete this rebuild by winning a Super Bowl against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card round. And it looks like we do win 31-28, a very close victory. Not really what you want to be seeing. We had the number 2 offense and the number 2 defense in the league, but we are going against the 13-4 Ravens, who were just below us in the division, so we did have the tiebreaker on them. But let's see if we can beat them once again, and we lose 35-31. It looks like Lamar Jackson gets the better of us there. But from what I'm seeing right now, it looks like we are set up pretty good for the future. So I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to go to the offseason here and see if we get any dev trait upgrades for this team. Taking a look at the team here, Tua went up to Superstar X Factor, which is really good to see. And he does get an ability now. It says his ability is Freight Train, but that's for runners. And I don't really see him as a runner, so I'm going to give him Omaha. I can keep all that stuff the way it is. But for getting him as a superstar dev and then getting him up to this, we wouldn't be at this position right now if we kept Kenny Pickett. Just sorry to say that to him. In Madden, you just don't develop that quickly. Defensively, Chris Boykins goes up to a superstar X Factor. TJ Watt goes back up to Superstar X Factor. Anthony Royals did not go up to Superstar after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Adonis Wolf is a Superstar X Factor. That is crazy to me because he didn't play much, so he must have had that already. But for Anthony Royals, what do we want to go with? I think we're going to want to try to go with Speed Rusher, just kind of get him that upgrade. Get his finesse moves up there. And he is up to an 80 overall. I feel like he should have gone up to Superstar. But, I mean, it is what it is. Him not going up to Superstar. We have an upgrade for Jaden Reed here, who is an 87 overall. Had an amazing season in the slot, so you already know I'm going to put him back in the slot. He's an 86 overall now. You'll love to see it from him. I mean, 26 years old and already a 90 overall. That's what you like to see. So, let's keep doing what we're doing and see if we can get this team to win a Super Bowl. I think I'm going to try to spend a lot of money in free agency if we have it. I also want to try to spend, I might make some trades for the future. So we actually only have about $48 million to spend, and we have to re-sign TJ Watt. I mean, he's a must. You have to re-sign him. He's going to test out free agency. I don't mind franchise tagging him here. Oh, it's $40 million franchise tag? Holy shit. That is not what I was expecting. Okay. Well, with that being said, I think we just shot ourselves in the foot. Big time. We messed up. So how am I going to fix this so that we do not regress so heavily that we can't even make the Super Bowl? Let's take a look at team salaries. If I can try to... Okay, I'm going to go through and restructure every single contract in the book. Actually, first I'm going to see if I can restructure TJ Watts. It's a 1-year deal, so I don't think it's possible. Yeah, no, you can't. So I'm going to restructure all the contracts I can and see if we can make things happen. Because I don't think with 1 year remaining, you can't restructure any contract. So it has to be more than a year remaining. Tua's contract. I can restructure this one. It's about $295 million total. I wish you could actually make it less. But we are going to restructure Tua's contract. So that's going to be good. It gives us about $20 million for any other big contracts that I have sitting around that I can mess with. So Minka Fitzpatrick, Alex Highsmith, I can mess with his contract and restructure that. Perfect. That's what you like to see. And then let's look again. TJ Watt, can't do his. Bernie Yarbrough, I can do his. So if this is going to help me get roughly 20 to 30 million in cap space, it was much worth it in my opinion, because that means we can now take a look here and re-sign some guys. 27 million. That's much better. I don't know why it says we need a quarterback. I think Tua is a pretty decent quarterback right now. George Pickens, you gotta. Ooh. I can't risk him not wanting to play here. So we are gonna sign George Pickens. Broderick Jones, sadly, is probably gonna have to walk. Najee Harris at 28. I think he's regressing. I'm not sure though. We're gonna see if he wants to play for us, and he does. So we have now $9.7 million to spend. Calvin Austin is here. Not going to re-sign him. Probably not going to re-sign any of the guys we have here. Yeah, I'm just letting all of these guys walk. I think the draft is where we're going to have to do some damage, but we do have 2 first-round picks. That is something to think about. Here in the draft, we have 2 first-round picks, like I said before. But we're going to sim to our pick. There's a couple of people that I'm looking at. Nothing crazy. Just some maintenance players. Players that are just going to fill a position right now. Nothing like, oh, this guy's going to be a really good player. He's going to be a stud. And I think the first guy we're going to get is Nathan Francois, who fills in the position for middle linebacker. I thought about moving the guy with Superstar X Factor over, but I don't think I will, depending on how good Nathan Francois is. And then our next pick is 27, but I don't think I really want to use that pick, actually. And I think I want to trade it away for a wide receiver 3. Now this wide receiver 3, I want it to be someone who is good. And will come in and make an impact automatically. So I'm thinking it's got to be someone who is also cheap. That's the biggest thing. So they got to be cheap and good. Now, you don't normally see that very often. Byron Bankston would be decent. Quez Watkins wouldn't be bad. But I'm looking for like an 80 overall without a massive contract, which right now it's not looking very promising. I mean, Caleb Green, that would be a pretty good haul. Let's see if we're able to get him. And it's a first for a 80 overall wide receiver. Not bad. Not bad. I think I want to trade basically this whole draft away. But my issue is I don't have money to do that. So we're kind of at a loss right now. We have about $11 million. I mean, if I can get a defensive tackle for $11 million, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be a happy boy, because I think if we can get a defensive tackle that is, well, I mean, 24, I want like DJ Reed, but 20 mil is too much. Ed Oliver, too much. Tyler Porter, not bad. But they don't really have anything else I want, unless they have I mean, what do I really need? Left guard? Oh, true. I do need left guard. Ben Powers, but he's about 15 million. What about center? Mason Cole, not bad. About $8 million to add him in there. If we go out, that leaves us with about $3 million. This would be big for our franchise. I think I may actually throw a first in here for next year, because I'm thinking this is going to be the last year of the rebuild if we can get these guys in here. Very close, but not yet. Let's see. If we throw a second in here, is that possible? It's a done deal. We get them all. So we're going to sim to the end of this draft. and take a look at the team and how it has progressed and see if we can just sim to the Super Bowl. Going into the final year of this rebuild, we have Tua at quarterback, Najee Harris, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, and a green, I don't know his first name, don't even want to know. Pat Freiermuth as our tight end. Defensively, hasn't changed much. Yes, we got better at corner. I mean, this team is just all around solid. Do I think it's a Super Bowl contender? I hope so. I think we're going to do really good in the regular season, but we may crumble when it comes to the end of the season. I'm not going to do training camp because every time I've done training camp, it's taken me like 40 minutes and I want to go to bed. It is literally the morning. And we go 6-11 and don't make the playoffs. I mean, we're an 87 overall across the board, so I don't really know what happened. We have the 4th best offense in the game and the 29th best defense in the game. So apparently changing from the Bears playbook wasn't even that good. We just had an amazing year. Stats-wise, let's take a look at it. Like I said, it was the last year of the rebuild. I got to get some sleep. I'm going to be doing more realistic rebuilds in the future, so obviously things like Tua being on the team won't happen. He had an amazing season, though. 4,200 yards, 37 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Rushing the ball, Najee Harris had another amazing year, 18 touchdowns rushing the ball. George Pickens had a really good year, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jaden Reed, another good year, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Defensively, only 11.5 sacks for TJ Watt, 7 sacks for Anthony Royals, 6.5 for Tyler Porter, 3.5 for Alex Highsmith. Interceptions, no one really got any interceptions. Like, what is that? What is that? That is an awful defensive season. I mean, come on. But if you enjoyed watching this, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And also, I'm going to be doing a ton more rebuilds and stuff. So stay on the lookout for those. Let me know down in the comments below what team you want me to rebuild. And peace.